At the time I filmed this video, I had been on a road trip to adventures recommended by my community for a little over a week. Things in this video are going to get a bit dangerous, but I'm going to keep the beginning how I filmed it when I thought it was just going to be a hot summer day hike, because that's how I experienced it, not expecting anything close to what happened. Today I made the drive from where I was in southwestern Utah to a little bit further north, a little bit further east in Utah. When I was coming here, I was like, oh, I bet the weather will be better, but I must have looked it up wrong because it's still extremely hot. The heat of the day, it's like 100 degrees. At nighttime, it's 80s and 70s. I've been in worse conditions, but it's like I can't sleep at night. I'm getting headaches. I can only do things early in the morning, or, I might risk getting heat stroke or something. In this area, I was really looking forward to doing 3 trails: Goblin Valley State Park, Little Wild Horse Canyon, and the San Rafael Swell. And there was a scenic drive I was interested in. Sadly, I'm going to have to cut down the number of days because I just don't want to survive in these extreme conditions anymore. I'm going to do that hike as soon as I can, first thing tomorrow, but for now I wanted to show you this campsite. I'm outside of Hanksville, and this is just free camping. It looks like a Martian landscape. It's so cool. There is my lovely van. Beautiful rock formation. So many of these little miniature lightning bug things. Oh! I just crossed the dirt road from where my campsite is, and there's this whole little canyon down here. Look at this. I think right here, it looks kind of bluish green. Look at all the rock formations, the old riverbeds. You can see the layers over there. That's so cool. I love Utah. Maybe not as much in July though. Good night for now. I will see you first thing in the morning. It's 6 a.m. and I feel like I just fell asleep. But I have to get up. I thought about making myself get up at 5 so I could be there now, because it's an hour drive away. But that seemed way too early. Although now I wish I had. It feels so good out. I'm 14 minutes away from the trailhead and I'm stuck. This has happened before, getting stuck in mud, and it cost hundreds of dollars to get pulled out. Plus, I'm in the literal middle of nowhere. I've been driving an hour on these dirt roads. I just can't get stuck. There was a point where I couldn't rock any further and put it in reverse. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna just floor it and go forward, and that worked. I thought there was no way I was getting out. Oh, we gotta go through a deep pit here. I can see the solid road. I can see the solid road. I have to make it. That was crazy. I was going back and forth all, oh my gosh. I am so lucky I made it through that. So lucky. As hard as things have been in the past couple days, I didn't have to get paid. Oh no. Okay. I thought it was another bad road. It is. The mud is touching the bottom. I'm in a survival situation now. I don't think I can get my car out of this mud. I need to get out, get water, bring water and food with me. I might have to stay. I don't even know. I'm gonna have to hitchhike at some point, which is scary in itself. Get service and call for help, and it might be thousands of dollars to get this out of here. I tried it a few more times, and I think I'm playing with my life here. The longer I spend here, the hotter it'll be when I'm trying to get out of here. I just have to abandon my car. I'm so frustrated with myself for going in that mud in the first place. Oh my gosh. Once I got in it, I couldn't back out, so I had to go through. I got on solid ground, and now I'm in mud again. I'm frustrated with myself, but you don't realize it's mud until you're in it. Now I need water, I need food, and I should probably just leave the rest because I need to carry as little as possible to expand as little energy as possible. I tried one more time to rock it out, and I think I need to stop losing time trying and start walking. I was driving for an hour down the dirt road. It's probably more than I can walk in a day, now that I think about it. But I have no way of calling for help. I gotta just start walking. This is gonna be my last time I talk to the camera because my phone is only gonna have so much battery. I love you all so much. As I walked, my mind raced. How could I have gotten myself stuck like that? How could I have about 2 liters of water for the day hike I had planned, but not extra just in case? Every news article, podcast episode, or video about someone meeting their demise wandering in the wilderness I'd ever seen came to mind. But I had shared my itinerary with my boyfriend and family, so they knew what area I was in. I usually texted my boyfriend at least once a day, so he'd notice something was up by the end of the day if no text ever came. I'd stick to the road, not even taking a quick shortcut. I was determined to make it out of there. About 2 hours in, my hands finally stopped shaking. But once I finished a small container of water, I realized in my panic I left my full Nalgene behind in my van. I only had 16 ounces of water I had in an old smoothie bottle that I'd have to make last. I used what a sign told me was Factory Butte as a landmark to keep track of my direction and progress as the landscape stretched out around me. When I get out of here, I thought, I'm heading back home. I'm done with this disastrous road trip. Nothing is worse than staying out here, putting myself in harm's way. When I was a kid, hiking and spending time outdoors made up so many happy memories. After college, I had some outdoor-based jobs, and the joy of nature came back to me like an old friend. Once I discovered how much I love filming adventures, I worked my butt off to make it my job. But being out so much more, in order to have something to post every week, this wasn't the first time I felt like I was 1 or 2 mistakes away from a serious accident. Just to be clear, I would never do anything risky just for a video, but being outdoors more increased my odds of having an outdoor mishap. I took my first break of the day under the shade of this sign, hoping to catch a glance of people four-wheeling or anyone I could ask for help. But there wasn't a soul in sight. It was only about 10-something, so I kept walking, hoping I'd find shade to rest in again when it was the hottest part of the day. The more ground I covered, the better my chances of getting back to civilization. Hiking had been a childhood memory, an adult hobby, my dream job, and now I was hiking for my life. Did I need to take a step back from having a new video every week in order to have fewer situations like this? That seemed extreme, but I was bargaining for my life, it felt like. I saw a creek bed ahead and hoped there might be a little water in it. I didn't have my filter, but I could carry some with me, and it would be better than nothing if worse came to worse. Before I got that far, though, I noticed a car coming up the road. I waved my arms to flag it down as tears flooded my eyes. Someone came down the road. Some German tourist here to take pictures of the butte. I almost cried of relief. I just asked them to take me anywhere in town so I can call a tow truck. But oh my gosh, you all. I'm so relieved. I had so many thoughts walking through the desert for hours. I am just thinking about ways to move forward, but first things first, let's get my car out of the mud. That's another thing that I'm alive, so that's good. But two, I'm worried for some reason they won't be able to get it out, and my home and, home away from home, and so many valuable possessions will just be lost forever. That's what I'm worried about. But let's not think too much about that yet. Calling a tow truck time. I found this taco place to go to the bathroom. My insurance was taking forever. The girl at the counter, so glad I ran into her because she said that there's someone in town that does towing. So I just canceled the insurance service. It kind of seems like they're going to keep the $200 they already took from me. But I'm just so glad the wheels are turning and I'm on my way. I'm in the truck of the local person that's going to come help me out. And he said a lot of people have been getting stuck this week because of the rains. And I'm just like, maybe it wasn't the near-death experience I thought it was. So I don't know. Perception is weird. We drove to where my van got stuck and were eventually able to winch it out. I am so grateful that this is the mechanic, tow service person that I'm working with. He's so kind. We got out nice and easy. Well, not easy, but we got out, period. Now driving back through this landscape that I walked through this morning when I was so scared is pretty surreal. It turns out it was only 14 miles to the road, and I walked 10 of them. So I wasn't as desolated as I thought. desolate, I guess is the better word for that. But yeah, not as desolate as I thought, but we're on the other side of it now. Once we get this thing cleaned up and on the road. The mud stuck in the wheels made my van rock when I got up to high speeds. But luckily the tow service man had a pressure washer we could use to get it out.
Let's try to get reimbursed.
The beer after the adventure this time was Cutthroat Pale Ale by Untappd Brewing Co. from here in Utah. Pale ale, pretty good. I actually had it sitting with my tow guy because we went somewhere with Wi-Fi so I could Venmo him. And I was like, do you mind if I get a beer while we're here? Because I just could really use one. What a day. Going back to what I said before, I think I was definitely like not just being dramatic to feel like my life was being threatened. Even though it happens to a lot of people, he was saying like an elderly lady got lost out somewhere on a hike and she had to be out there for 18 hours. And I can't imagine that. So feeling extremely, extremely lucky with how today turned out. Lucky the people gave me a ride. Lucky the tow guy was so nice. Lucky it was cloudy a lot of the time when I was walking, even though it was hot. At least the sun wasn't beaming down on me. While I was walking, I was having a lot of thoughts about how I always end up seeming to be a cautionary tale or an almost, or okay, getting on here on YouTube being like, okay, this is what happened, please learn from this and don't do this. And I just don't want my life to be like that. I guess it's just there's a lot of near-death experiences or just not fun, very scary things that have happened, and I don't know. While I was walking, I was like, I don't want to continue with the road trip anymore. It's been pretty hard this whole time. It seems like there's been one thing after the other. A lot of times I'm dealing with multiple things at the same time. So I don't know what the future of the road trip has in store. I was thinking a lot about YouTube and my career and this channel as a whole, and I can't say how much I appreciate you all being here with me through all of it. Stuff might be different in the future because right now at least I've had enough adventure for a little while and I could tough it out, but I don't want to. I don't have to. So anyway, what I'm saying is today, I was very shaken up. I was having a lot of thoughts about what the future is going to look like. Right now, I'm not making any decisions. It was probably the best case scenario for what happened, and everyone is okay now. So I'm going to take a few weeks or days to think about it, and I'll let y'all know what's going on. But, every time stuff happens, I'm like, okay, this was a one-time experience, and it could have happened to anybody. But it always happens to me, and I'm tired of it. So I don't know. I guess that's all I can say. I don't know. But as always, thank you for being with me on this adventure, even though it was an extra big adventure this time. I filmed that video about 2 weeks ago on June 30th, 2024. So I just wanted to tack on an update here at the end to explain a little more how I got myself in that situation. Google Maps said that was the shortest way, driving on that dirt road to the hike I was going to, which was Wild Horse Canyon. I didn't say in the video. I was leaving it a surprise. Which one is she going to choose? But then, of course, the video turned out to be about something else. And it does seem really, dumb to drive through mud, but from the top, it looked dry. I didn't have problems until I was halfway through the first patch of mud. After all that happened, I drove to Yellowstone, where my parents were, and that was so nice to spend a few days just taking it easier, seeing some familiar faces, and kind of processing. I did decide to continue on with the road trip. The main thing I was thinking was, I drove all the way out here. I'm not going to just turn around and go back so soon. Safety really isn't guaranteed anywhere, whether you're on the road or at home. You can probably tell I am back in my apartment now, but I still have 6 more videos to share with you. Still some surprises coming along the way. And I did decide to continue posting on my channel as usual. In fact, I thought about cutting that part out of the video because I don't want to come off any way that I don't mean to, but I really wanted to show that I really was thinking along the lines of I will do anything for this not to happen again. So I am okay now. Everything turned out fine. Anything can happen anywhere, even if you think you're just driving to a day hike, easy peasy, anything can happen. Thank you for watching. Really appreciate y'all being here.